Okay, Shalom, Shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. I'm going to name this at the end because I don't know what I'm going to title it right now. But I mean, as you see what's on your screen, this is the character Franklin from Snowfall, right? So on social media right now, this episode just came out, pretty much with him being in this state. You see what I'm saying? So everybody's been sharing this picture, the picture to your right, if you're looking at your screen, um, on social media, and they've been saying that this scared them, they're afraid, and then you got old heads that's saying, look, yeah, this is how it all turns out. You know what I mean? And this is very true, because I've seen it with my own family members and people close to me. People very close to me. I've seen them have $300,000 homes, the newest cars. I'm talking about pretty much on top of the world. And then I've seen them end up like how Franklin ended up on the picture on your right. I've seen it multiple times and seen multiple examples. How many of us know or have an uncle or somebody close to you that was in the streets, in the 80s. And, remember the 80s, they called it the golden years because everybody was making money selling, what Franklin was selling, Coke. And then how did all those guys end up? They all almost damn near ended up looking like how he looks on the right. But he was already doomed for the same reason they was doomed. Because what he was doing, which ultimately was wickedness against the Lord. You see what I'm saying? That's how the Lord works. The very same wicked thing he was doing to the community, that's how he ended up. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell you where his major mistake came in at. He was already in the wrong. He was already destined for destruction, pretty much, right? But his mistake came in. If you watch the show Snowfall, when he was at the grave, yeah, the what they call those things? He was at the grave, and they was his uncle had got killed, and they were all at the funeral. Exactly. So he was at the funeral, and he was talking to his uncle's wife, and she was mourning, and she looked at him and she said, "You're the devil. You know that?" And he accepted it, and he said, "Yeah, I know that." At that moment, I was like, "He's done. He's over with," because he went against the Lord. That's what happened to him. That's why he was put to this state, because he went against the Lord. And this the bigger picture, and what's so great about this, that's why I had to do a video on this. What's so great about it is it shows you have to be humble, no matter how much power you think you got, no matter how big you think you are, you have to be humble, or the Lord could humble you, and you don't want the Lord to have to humble you. And that's the bigger picture. Because what do all our people say? All our people say, man, look, I don't want to go out on the highways and byways to teach the truth. I don't want to be a Hebrew Israelite. I don't want to come back into my true heritage. I don't want to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, or follow or read or study the Bible. Why? Most of the time, it's because they're too focused on what? Getting money. And most of them are in the streets getting money by doing what? Exactly what Franklin was doing: selling coke, selling drugs, or either doing coke, doing drugs, or now with the woman, they have OnlyFans. But those same things that's like getting you rich and getting you to kick it and go on luxury vacations, cars, cribs, and all that money and stuff like that for the summer, those same things is going to be your downfall. Selling sex like that on OnlyFans, that's going to be your downfall too. Selling drugs and stuff like that, that's going to be your downfall too, just like Franklin. So whatever you sow, you reap at the same time. You see, so if you out there selling violence and stuff like that, like it was a famous rapper that died not too long ago. I ain't even mention his name, because we right down the street from Chicago, so it's different over here, But um, he was gangster rapping about murder and kind of like flaunting how he murders and got a lot of bodies. And what happened to him? He got murdered. So whatever you sow, you reap. That's how this thing works, man. And the Lord is going to get you, and you cannot escape judgment, man. So that's why when you see us out on the highways and byways, you see Kadash, you see me out on the highways and byways, say, what is they out there doing? Man, we out there being humble and doing what the Lord told us to do. We out there serving the Lord, man. Because it don't matter how great I am, how good a thinker, how good a management, putting things together I am. I know the Lord could judge me at any time for any one of my sins, because I'm not perfect. And it's so very easy for the Lord to judge you. You better be humble, man. See, our people that made it not cool to love and follow the Lord. When you go to certain places like Saudi Arabia, it's it's cool. It's the cool thing to do to praise their God. They praise Allah. They praise their God every other sentence. Have you ever seen like I watch boxing, right? And lately they've been having a lot of boxing fights over there in Saudi Arabia. And man, when I tell you every other sentence, when those Arabs get on there and they talk every before they even say anything, they say, praise Allah, their God and stuff like that. And I say, you know what? They are Hebrews too, and they Ishmael, so they got a lot of similarities with the Israelites, and they also hijacked a lot of our shit. But we coming back to take the kingdom, right? So those guys, but it was kind of inspiration. I said, you know what? I don't praise the Lord enough. I said before every sentence, I need to praise the Lord. Or anytime I get blessed, even with the smallest of things, I need to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. If I'm on a big platform and I gotta speak, before I even speak, hey, I want to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, which means bless you Yahweh, bless you Yahweh Shai. You know what I mean? Or rather, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. I want to start off, but you want to start off with knowledge in the Lord. You see what I'm saying? So our leadership, which is the wicked, you see what I'm saying, which really goes into Esau, but the leadership of the Israelites today are wicked, a wicked class of Israelites, really have to do with the music and sporting and entertainment, right? Entertainment. Our entertainers are our leaders, right? They dictate what's cool or not. You see what I'm saying? So when you go to Saudi Arabia, their leadership, the royal family, dictates what's cool or not over there, and everybody follows that. So in the kingdom, the elect is going to dictate what's cool or not. You see what I'm saying? Then the rest of Israel is going to follow that. That's how that works, and then all the way up to the 144,000 elect man, and then all the way up to Yahweh Shai. You see, so that's how these things work. So let's get some precepts, get it out the Bible, so it could try to stick. This is Job 15 verse 20. The wicked man travaileth with pain all his days. So Franklin was getting a lot of money, right? Had a lot of power, like episode 5. I mean, no, season 5, right? But he had a lot of pain the whole time, man. The whole time he was going through shit, right? That's the curses. It says, in the number of his years is hidden to the oppressor. It says a dreadful sound is in his ears, and prosperity, and in prosperity the destroyer should come upon him. So Franklin never had it figured all the way out, man. Anytime he would get close, he would take steps back. You heard the saying, you take one step back, take two. You take one step forward, take two steps back. Yeah, if you're living wicked, right? It says, he believeth not that he should return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. So we've seen that plenty of times. His life was threatened to be put to death in just complete darkness. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, where is it? He knoweth that the day of the darkness is ready at his hand. And see, that's where you get the picture on the right from. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. They shall prevail against him as a king ready to the battle. For he stretches out his hand against God. When he told that lady, and she said, you know you the devil, right? And he accepted it and said, yeah, that was it. He stretched his hand out against God and strengthened himself against the Almighty. He runneth upon him even on his neck and upon his thick bosses of the bucklers, because he covered his face with the fatness and make it collops of fat, and of his flanks pretty much just rich. And he dwelleth in desolate cities, and in the houses which no man inhabit, which are ready to become heaps. He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong the perfection thereof upon the earth. So we use this because Esau is the rich right now, and the wicked and rulership too. But it's double fold. Like, it's not just talking about Esau; it's talking about any man that's wicked too. This is what's gonna happen to you, right? So Franklin was rich, but his substance didn't continue, as you see. Verse 30: He shall not depart out of the darkness. The flame should dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth shall he go away. So where he was a king at one time, pretty much throughout the show, look what he was diminished through. So the people on social media talking about, yeah, this frightens me. It should frighten you, but are you frightened for the right reasons? Are you frightened because of this right here? Let's see. Or are you frightened just because he lost everything? And then the next kid in the back looking at it like, well, Franklin lost everything. I would have did this and did this and did that and been successful. No, you're never gonna be successful. I had this talk with some people that was close to me because they thought that they could get in the game, do some things different, and they'd be successful, more successful than the generations of them before. I said, look, man, going down that road is gonna get you what it got these people. Our elders, and our older people that came before us. Look, they did all that hustling and stuff, and look what happened to every single one of them. You can't point at one of them right now that's living in prosperity. So if you go down that road, this ain't all gonna come to you. But they told me, they said, no, I got it. I'm gonna do this. I went and did that. I'm gonna be smarter, and then got in it, and then the same thing happened to them. Because you have to acknowledge, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of just losing everything? No, you're supposed to be afraid of the Lord. Ecclesiasticus, Ecclesiastes, sorry, chapter 12, right? You know, very popular precept. Verse 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. You got to be afraid of the Lord. See, this is the part that brothers, that's out there just in the world that they don't see. But this is our part to come in and teach them, why did Franklin lose everything, and what should you really be afraid of. You know, let's go to another one. Let's go back to Job 21. If you following along or not, let's go to verse 1. It says, but Job answering said, hear diligently my speech, and let this be your constellations. Suffer me that I may speak, and after that I have spoken, mocking on. As for me, it is my complaint to man, and if it were so, why shall not my spirit be troubled? Mark me and be astonished, and lay your hand upon your mouth. Even when I remember, I am afraid, and trembling take hold of my flesh. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yeah, or mighty in power? Because when you wicked and you getting all that money, just like your favorite rapper right now, your favorite rapper, your favorite entertainer, actor, they wicked, right? But they living old. Like take like somebody like Jay-Z, for just example. They living old. They mighty in power. He powerful. He can make things happen. He can make calls and things happen for him. Right? It says their seed is established in the sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Right? Because their kids become celebrity kids, and they have everything, and everybody praise their kids too. Right? Same thing you seen with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian and their kids. These guys that's at the top, when they have kids, they kids are like celebrity kids, and the whole world's waiting to see how the kid looks and praises the kid and love the kid, right? Well, it says, verse 9, their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of God upon them, right? So their houses safe because they got $1 million houses and gated communities, right? Their bull guardeth and faileth not, their calveth and casteth not her calf. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. Because you have all the riches, right? You at the top. They take the timbrel and harp and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They literally are in music industry, right? They spend their days in wealth, right? They have a lot of money. In a moment goeth down to the grave. Therefore they say unto God, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. So why do they say that? Because they getting so much money, like a person like Jay-Z, and we see this in their videos. Jay-Z, Beyonce, just for example, Lil Durk, whoever it may be, right? We see this in their videos of them worship of Satan, right? Because they get to a point, right? And they get money and they get all this wealth and power and connections that Satan has given them, right? But Satan turns you over to the Lord because Satan is under control and was created by the Lord. on the left hand side to do his work. So they don't understand that Satan's really doing the work of the Lord. So when they get all this power and this money, you start to look at yourself as a god. And this is the same complex that Esau got. So what it is now is God, leave from me. I don't want to read about the Bible. I don't want to read with God. I don't want to humble myself, bow down. I don't want to follow law, statutes, commandments, or teach his law, statutes, and commandments, or live by the Lord's ways. I don't want to. I don't even want the knowledge of God, because they feel like they are God themselves. What did Future say? Future said he's a God on earth. What did Kanye West say? He made a yay Bible. You see what I'm saying? So these guys are saying that they're God now, and they don't care about the true knowledge of God. They don't even want God to really exist because they want to do what they want to do because they have this power now, right? But at the end, right, it says, "What is the Almighty that we should serve him?" See? So they say, "What is God that we have to serve God?" They say, "Look, we're gods ourselves. God is in you, man. Why do you got to serve God? God, you are God." That's what they say. And what profit should we have if we pray into him? They say, "What's the profit?" Because they already have everything. Look, I did all this on my own. Why I got to serve God? I did all this on my own. I already got all this. Right? Lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. They don't when they have counsels and think about what they should do, just like with Franklin, they're not thinking about what the Lord will do. It says, "How oft is the candle of the wicked put out? How often is the candle of the wicked put out? And how often cometh their destruction upon them? God distributes sorrows in his anger. They are as stumble before the wind and as chef that the storm carrieth away. God layeth up his iniquity for the children. He rewarded him, and he shall know it. His eyes shall see the destruction, and he should drink of the wrath of the Almighty." You see what I'm saying? So that's the same thing with Esau, right? The so-called white man that's running the earth. Same thing with him, but same thing with all the wicked, even the wicked amongst Israel. So you're going to go through more destruction because you have more than the average person. See, like when a pandemic come or something like that, or whatever, the economy collapse, the poor are already poor. They don't have it as hard as the rich. When the rich go down, that's when all hell break loose because they're used to living this very, very rich life. So for them to fall and lose everything like Franklin did, it hits even harder. And then, just like Franklin, their life may be spared so they could be an example of, look, this could happen to you. You see what I'm saying? Like the poor, like when they lose everything, they're already poor, so they really don't even diminish anymore. You know what I mean? It's nothing new to them. But the higher you is, it's like the taller you are, the harder you fall. The higher you is, the longer you have to fall, man. So the Lord is going to destroy them, and we see this example all the time. And this is why we try to teach, to wake brothers up. Does the Lord have a problem with you making $1 million a year? No, because the Lord could bless you with that. But it's just how you doing it, you know? Are you praising the Lord? Are you following the Lord's ways? All these things matter. And these things can be done. These things can be done and you can be blessed. You know, let's jump over to, this is James chapter 1, if I could get to it. James chapter 1, let me see. What precept? Give me a little bit of time. Let's see. James chapter 1 verse 7. It says, "For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted." You got to be humble. Then the Lord will build you up, man. But the rich in that he is made low because as a flower of the grass he has passed away. And just like if you have a field, right, when the sun comes up, the tallest flower gets burnt first, right? So the richest are going to get burnt first when the Lord comes back and harder, right? For the sun is no sooner risen with a burning heat, but it is withered the grass, and the flower thereof falleth. Because what's the flower? It's beautiful. It's more beautiful than everything else around it. You know, when you getting all this money, you got the fake composite veneer teeth. You know, your skin is oily, like on the left hand side, Franklin on your left hand side. You got your line up, your hair is shaped perfect. You got the top clothing on. You know what I mean? You got the top cologne, you know what I mean, shoes, cars, you like a decked out flower compared to grass, you know, the poor, right? It says, and the grace of the fashion of it perish. So also shall the rich man fade away in his ways, right? So blessed is the man that endureth temptation. See, Franklin was tempted to get in that life, and he couldn't endure it. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to them that love him. So when you see us on the highways and byways and we look weird with garments on, we're out there teaching, just remember, we're the ones that's enduring that temptation. Because we could go down a lot of wicked roads, but we're enduring that temptation, and then we're going to receive a crown of life, meaning we're going to be saved when the Lord comes and destroy this place completely. The same way Noah was saved from the first death, but in a different manner. We're going to go by ships too, just like he went by a ship, but these are going to be spaceships that we're going to be saved with. And that's what this is all about. You're rich, your favorite rapper and stuff, they're going to still be here, and they're going to have to live through that destruction. They're not going to be saved by the Lord. Or they're going to have to run to Esau, and we know what Esau's going to do to them. We know what Esau's going to do to them when they try to run to Esau for help. Because when the dollar collapsed, what do your rich have anymore? You know, you got a lot of people that's gonna be jealous of you, looking at you sideways. So just imagine a person like Beyonce with no money, no riches. What is she gonna do? You see what I'm saying? So she's gonna be thrown to the wolves. They're all gonna be thrown to the wolves. You know, you got a person like, let's just say Lil Durk, with the stuff he has going on with the different beefs and stuff like that. He's able to endure those things because he has riches. So he has riches to pay security. He has riches so he don't have to fly private. I mean, he don't have to fly public. He can fly private. He has riches so he can live in these rich neighborhoods like we read, where he's safe at. He has safety. He has riches to buy safety. But when the money collapsed and now you don't have those riches no more to buy safety, now what? You don't have these riches to keep these people around you to protect you. It's like, now what? What you gonna do now? You know. Here, let me see. This is Psalms 37, right? Straight to the point, verse 9. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord shall inherit the earth. So all these things, like, you doing all these wicked things to get money so you can have power and comfort, right? The righteous, we're going to inherit all those things anyways by following the Lord. So you're really doing it backwards, and you're really going to end up how Franklin ended up on the picture on the left. You see? Let's keep going. For yet a little while, so it seemed like it's taking some time, but that's where our faith kicks in. And the wicked shall not be. Yeah, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek should inherit the earth and should delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just and gashes upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. And what happened to Franklin? This is just an example. His day came. You know? And I might name this like the end of the wicked or something, or I might name it something about the show, just to, you know, get people to tune in so they can hear the truth. With that, I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom.